Hello everyone and welcome back to Assassin's Creed 3 where we last left off. We killed our own father, we made our way to Boston to find Charles Lee in the Green Dragon, and we were told that he was at the harbour, and we are now chasing him down after we spotted him. We are not to push anyone, lose more than 50 meters,
you can't get past me,
or anything else. There we go, we didn't shove anyone. So now we need to not take any fire damage. We need to climb up to here. There he is. Why? Let's see if we can actually do it this time. Come on. Whee! Lee, stop! Gotcha! No. Ow.
Why do you persist? You put us down, we rise again.
Just like we do.
You end one plot, we forge another.
Just like we do. And we have a giant
You try so
stake
hard,
sticking
but
into
it
us.
always ends the same. Those who know you think you mad, and this is why. Even those men you sought to save have turned their backs on you. Yet you fight. You resist. Why?
Because no one else will.
I know you've been shot. I've been impaled by wood and you've been shot. I don't know which one of us came off worse. And great, this annoying filter's back. I can see into my own body. That's great. I'm surprised we didn't burn to death, seeing everything was on fire. I can't run. Everyone's fine, even though everything was on fire a minute ago. Just a bunch of 400 pounds, is it?
Rough night, was it? He headed inland. Took a ferry up the Charles River.
Who are you?
I will need passage as well. Of course. Only say the word.
Who are you? Here we are. I'll deal with you later, assassination man. What is this place? The Last Drink Tavern. Isn't this where we met as Hatham to go find Zio? No, open the door. Don't whistle at it. I somehow look worse than when I started. Like, I wasn't that bloodied up, and now suddenly I've got blood everywhere. I wonder if either of us will actually survive this. This seems more like something a father and son would have, not random Charles Lee. I bet anything it was originally Charles Lee that died in the fort, and it was supposed to be his father here, because this makes so much more sense, and actually has respect between the two. Whereas this is just Charles Lee. Oh, I've got to kill Charles Lee because he burned my village, but actually he didn't, so he didn't really do anything. Like, fucking come on. I'm complaining at a scene where it's like, why it's happening, but yeah, fucking, ugh. That was so dramatic and would have been 10 times better if it was his father that did that. Anyway, 6 months later. I'm walking with a limp now?
Why would they leave this behind?
Long have we waited for you to return. You have done as we asked. You have succeeded.
No! I have failed! My people are gone! Chased out by those who I thought would protect them!
It is a trade. A sacrifice. And not in vain.
That's not what you said, though.
For you have found it.
This?
Now you must hide it, where none shall think to look, and then in time, what once was, shall be, again.
I do not understand.
Nor need you. Only do as we ask. Then, you may do as you wish.
But what of my people?
You have saved this place, as was your people's purpose.
That's not what you said.
Most.
You said if you do this, you'll save your people.
It will never be enough. You strive for that which does not exist. Still, you have made a difference, and you will do so again. Remember, you must hide the amulet where none might find it.
And then it just disintegrated in his hand, did it? Okay. Wait, are we? Is it supposed to reference that we now have a limp like Achilles does? Or at least for now, because it looks like he was still injured, 'cause it's only 6 months, but I guess... Oh! I actually forgot about that. Connor was named after Achilles' son. Achilles was the true character of this game. Seriously. Sequence 12 completed.
I know where the key is.
I think everyone does.
Then let's go.
Here we go. The old man on the hill. I mean, it's kind of obviously we'd be dead at this point because this is like the 21st century and that was what, the 19th? Well, we got it.
Guess this is it.
We're right behind you.
Alright then. Before we do that, I want to check my emails. Just 1 second. Just 1 second. Just... No! Stop it! Crane, I'm scared. What if we don't find the key? What if we do, but run out of time? What if it's whatever's down here doesn't work? What's changed? The first Civ tried to save themselves and failed, and this place is shut down and sealed up. Doesn't really feel like the sort of place we're going to find the answers to all our problems. Doesn't help that the people who brought us here are missing. I'm just worried that this isn't going to work. I don't want to die. Jeez, Rebecca, calm down. Forgive my outburst, it has been a long time. I have been alone in this place for too long, waiting, hoping. Soon you will see all I have promised. Only hurry and find the key, restore power to this place. Here's the thing, if you're going to put yourself at a computer, allow it so then you can put yourself to sleep for a while, like a couple centuries, or at least make it so then when you only get turned on, not in that way, when people come into the building or whatever, or turn you on. Good news, bad news. Which would you like first? Not really time for this? Okay, sorry. So much for injecting a little pre-Christmas cheer into these otherwise dour proceedings. Oh yeah, it's the 19th of the 12th. It's almost Christmas. The good news is that, as far as I can tell, the Eye of Sturgo launch has been postponed permanently. With Vidic dead, thanks to dear Desmond, and the Apple of Eden still safely in our possession, there's no way they'll make their date. I suppose there's always the chance they'll manage to retrieve another apple and start the whole process over, because there's a fucking ton of apples. I don't know why they had so many, but all of our intel says they've got no leads. We're safe from that particular threat, at least for now. The bad news is that we've got less than 48 hours to open the temple doors. Whatever's meant to happen on the 21st, and it's likely a whole lot worse than the Eye of Sturgo, I think we'd like very much to ensure it doesn't. Alright, here we go. Time for the final hurdle. And the thing I hate the most about this, well, one of the... Actually, I hate a lot of things about this game, okay? This is another one that we're going to come up to. And I'll tell you when it happens. His leg was freaking out then going up that staircase.
Moment of truth.
It didn't even break the strap, it just sort of went through your neck. Oh then. That's the door got. You guys ready? This is the final end game. And it's not Avengers. Oh, I'm not running, it's doing it itself.
Yes. Come. Here, at last. You know our story now. Of how we tried. Of how we failed. All our hopes extinguished. Save one. Your touch. A spark. A spark to save the world.
Wait! Do not touch the pedestal.
Minerva?
You. But how? You left. You destroyed the device.
Did you think there was only one?
What the hell is going on here?
You must not free her.
Free her?
Juno dwells within these walls, awaiting release. I will explain. While we worked to save the world, she sought instead to conquer it. She used our machines to set her plans in motion. Divination through numbers. There is a pattern to existence.
That's
to
what
comprehend
Sean
the
has,
calculations
sort of.
is to tame time. This was my focus. And so I built the eye to aid us. But she turned it towards her own ends. When we discovered her treachery, we put a stop to it. And then we left. But first we called to you, that you might try again. We thought it would be safe with her gone. Now I see we were deceived. She survived, she endured, and then she began to work. For centuries, Tinia and I walked the world, hoping to rekindle the spark of civilization. We shared what we knew as best we could. We were not the only ones, but for all the power we wrought, still death would claim us. But before it did, I would have one last look to know if we had succeeded.
That's how you're here now?
I had hoped you might find this place and finish our work. But it is too late. You and the Templars have squabbled over our refuse. You have wasted centuries, and so you have lost your chance. You cannot hope to stop the end now, Desmond. Only to survive.
She's lying! Only touch the pedestal and the world will be saved.
Better the world burn than she be loosed upon it.
Is that so? Show him then.
But he will not understand.
So does that mean that they're both still alive but in computer form?
It is complicated. It is...
Show me.
Because that means that she's still
If you
alive.
heed Minerva, the sun will have its way. The ground will crack and spit fire into the skies. All the world will burn. But this does not end the world, merely heralds its arrival. Darkness follows. Then you emerge, resolving to lay a foundation that such a tragedy does not befall the world again. You will become a symbol to those who survive.
This is the part where I don't like.
Hope,
I really hate.
knowledge,
So.
determination. You will inspire them to rebuild, to thrive once more. And as the world heals, so too will humanity. But you are just a man, frail and mortal. You pass from the world, leaving behind only a memory. A legacy. You will be remembered first as a hero, later as a legend, and in time as a god. It is the cruelest fate to have written words that meant well and see them made wicked and unwise. What was meant to encourage life, used instead to justify taking it. And so now you see that what was shall be again. So tell me, how is this better?
I will say my piece on that when we get to the actual credits.
She would sacrifice you, sacrifice the world, for no other reason than to deny me vindication.
They will enslave your kind, Desmond. Is this not why you fight? Is this not why you came here? To ensure more than just your race's future, but its freedom?
What future? What freedom? Billions dead and the whole cycle begun anew? This world has known nothing but heartache and horror since we left it.
Our gift to them, and you'd see it all returned.
Enough!
You must not do this.
Whatever Juno's planning, however terrible it might seem today, we'll find a way to stop it. But the alternative, what you want, there's no hope there.
If you free her, you'll be destroyed.
It will happen in an instant. There will be no pain.
You mustn't.
It's done, Minerva. The decision's made.
You should have seen that, though, if you've seen
Then
the
the
future.
consequences of this mistake are yours to live and die with.
You need to go. All of you. Now. Get as far away from here as you can. Come with us. We'll find another way. There isn't time. Son. You know it's true. It's already started. I need to do this now. So go. Go!
We've got to continue the series. I know, let's kill off the main character. You sure it's not going to be a bad idea? No, do it! So we can go wherever we want. That doesn't look like an instant, Juno! That looked like it took a few moments.
It's some sort of global aurora borealis. Never seen anything like this before. Eyewitnesses describe electrical storms and erratic displays of unusual weather. Residents are being asked to remain inside and wait for geological surveys are now reporting seismic activity throughout the Ring of Fire. Northeastern Canada is said to be experiencing the largest on record. Satellites and transformers are failing as the flare increases in intensity. Worldwide reports of blackouts
PC adaptation
seems to be receding. Residual seismic and volcanic activity is being reported, but nothing approaching earlier levels. Obviously, it'll be a while before experts are able to assess the full extent of the damage caused by today's event. But it appears the worst is behind us. We'll be sure to bring you more
so
as
the
this
thing
story
works.
develops.
It protected against the
It is
flare.
done. The world is saved. You played your part well, Desmond. But now it's time that I played mine.
Oh, no it's not, because you hardly have any influence in the next few games except for the next one after this. After that, you're done. You don't even appear that much. Which is really annoying, because you're not even the main villainess. You're just this overarching BBEG that doesn't do anything. I'm not sure if I need to skip anything. But, so, that's the end of Assassin's Creed 3. And here's the thing. I don't like it. The ending itself of Desmond sacrificing himself is all well and good. I can understand him not wanting everyone to die and then worship him as a thing. And all that. That's fine. That's great. Whatever. Good story, I guess. The thing I don't like is the whole thing with, oh, the world ended. Guess that means technological progression has just completely stopped and completely reverses to the beginning again. Which doesn't make any sense. That's not how things work. Just because there's an apocalypse or something akin to that and people still survive does not suddenly mean, oh, I've forgotten how to work a computer or make clothes or do cars or mechanics or any of that. No, it isn't. Even the simplest of persons know how to work a computer or turn on a TV or use a wrench. They don't just suddenly, oh, let's just regress into like the 1st century where we wear like simple clothes and worship people and all this stupid shit. No, that's not how things work. I hate it when games do that, or stories in general. It's like, oh, there's been an apocalypse, everyone regresses to the 1st century and they can't even figure out how to use a mobile anymore. It doesn't work that way. People won't just suddenly forget years of progression just because the apocalypse happened. They just rebuild, start from where everything got destroyed at. So 21st century, you start as 21st century, you just fix everything. And I know some people will be like, well, maybe after the solar flare, the technological things don't work as well. And it's like, well, that's fucking bullshit, because things that happened the last time it happened still fucking work. So it doesn't make sense that it would suddenly not work. It's probably a really, really minor thing to get worked up about, but I hate it. It is stupid. Or you get worshipped as like another Jesus or something, and it's like, well, no. It's stupid, okay? I hate that. But that's Assassin's Creed 3 in a nutshell. It is frustrating. It's a frustrating entry into the series. It does some good things, like the ship battles, the ship combat. I mean, anything to do with the ship stuff was great. It's the best ship stuff we've ever had, which is why they then ended up making Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, which had that and it was the main focus, and it was great for that. The other good things were the weather mechanics. I liked walking around in the snow. I liked the progression of time, night and day cycles. That's always good to have. And the fact that you could climb trees now was also really good. A few minor tweaks as well, like the combat being a bit more fluid, which is a lot better, and running through buildings. But Connor as a main character is awful. He is the worst character in the Assassin's Creed series, and I'm telling you this now, he is the worst. When he speaks in Native American, he sounds like he's dead. He doesn't have any emotion when he says things. He says things so monotone, you'd swear he's a robot. And yeah, maybe it's hard to find people that actually speak the language, but you've got to assume, or kind of understand, that even if they speak in another language, they don't just suddenly stop speaking with inflections and emotions in their voice. Connor, other than that, sucks. He is always angry. He doesn't care about anything else. He fucking retracts himself when people touch him, and then sometimes he doesn't, and then other times he does. It's like he flip-flops. He's like, don't touch me. It's like, okay, you can touch me. Don't touch me again. It's another scene, but don't touch me. Him apparently being the guy who fixes everything. It's like, oh, I started the Civil War, or the American Civil War, or whatever, the Revolution, or whatever it was. I can't remember what it's called now. I started the whole thing at Chesapeake. I won that whole fight. I kicked the British out. I sided with the Patriots. I rode on that horse. That was like, the British are coming. It's like, no, you didn't. You didn't do any of that. How about you stop taking their work and putting it off as your own? You didn't do shit, Connor. You were just riding the horse, or if anything, you shouldn't even have been in that scene. But anyway, then there's the whole thing with his father. Again, I think the whole thing at the tavern should have been his father, because that is more impactful than Charles Lee, who he barely speaks to, who's not built as an antagonist as much as the dad, and yet the dad you have to fight in a 4 and you just kick him into a few barrels and then stab him in the neck in the cutscene, which doesn't do anything. It's not an actual fight, and it just falls flat. If you compare it to like Assassin's Creed 2, you fought against Borgia in a fucking church in the Vatican, and then you fucking had to kick his ass as he used his powers on you with his staff, and then you had a fist fight with him in a pit, and then you didn't kill him. And then the next game, you fought his son, who was like running away, and you had to like incrementally take pieces of his armors off and then stab him in the right places. It was an awesome fight. They suck. They just suck. They're bad final boss fights. You don't even fight Charles Lee, you just chase him. You don't even need to do anything, you just chase him, he gets shot, that's it, and then you stab him in a cutscene. It feels like control was taken away from me at that point. It's just like, oh, well, I'm watching a movie now, it doesn't matter what I do. So, screw me, I guess. But yeah, Connor sucks as a character, I don't like him. The side characters are what kind of sell it for me. Mostly Achilles and everyone to do with the homestead, because they're actually really well done, which is very weird because they're not really that in it that much. Achilles is up to about sequence 10 and then he just vanishes, but there's a reason for that and we'll find out when we go further into the homestead stuff. And then you've got the other characters, like the whole thing with the miner trying to win the hunter's hand or like get girlfriend with him or her. And That's fine. But man, I have to say, this is, for me, the worst Assassin's Creed. For me. Other people might like it. I know some people really like that it's about American culture or history. For me, I think it's terrible. It's done some good things, but a lot of the bad things overset the good things. Even the ship combat is overset by the fact that there's very few missions with that, and it doesn't really do much. Like, the ship upgrades are so expensive, but you hardly have that many ship missions anyway. The trinket missions aren't really that important, they just give you a map, and I think at the end of that you get a new set of armor, but that's about it. And then, like, the trinkets aren't even important, it's just like, oh, what you got this time? Oh, it's not nearly enough! And that's about it, and it's just like, oh, okay. I'm just not impressed by this entry into the series. It's a limp send-off for a character that's been in the game, been in the series since the beginning. It's just like, oh yeah, he burns to death. Whoa. And then there's the whole thing with Juno. I'm telling you now, it's not really a spoiler. She doesn't do anything after this. She's there in the background for like 2 games. She's more prominent in the one of them than the other, where she just shows up in the other one. The first one, she plays a bigger role, but that's just because of the character that's involved in that. But we'll get to it when we get there. But after those 2 games, she doesn't show up. She doesn't show up in Origins, she doesn't show up in Odyssey, she doesn't show up in any of the other ones. She's just, there's some stuff going on in the background, we don't know what, but yeah. You know, and it's such a shame. They have this enemy here, this big threat, and they're not doing anything with her. They've just let her to be in the background. Like, you'd think that someone that's as important as Juno or Minerva would actually do something in the game. Especially things like Origins or Odyssey, where you're actually going into the past, where they would reasonably, they'd still be alive. Like, because there's people that were from the old civilization, in Origins apparently, that are still alive, but they don't do anything with Juno and Minerva. Like, what? Or this Tinia person? Are you kidding me? If I had to rate this game, I'd give it a 3. A 3 out of 10. It is very bad. It's bad. Like, I don't know if I've done the ratings for the other ones, but like Assassin's Creed 1 gets a 7 out of 10. Assassin's Creed 2 gets an 8. Assassin's Creed 2 Brotherhood gets a 9. Assassin's Creed Revelations get an 8 because there were some things in that I didn't like personally, but it was still good. This is a 3. This is a very, very bad game in my opinion. They kind of make up for it for the second game, the next game after this, but even then, that still has problems. And every game after that completely diverges from what is the actual core of Assassin's Creed. Trust me, when you get to Odyssey and Origins, that's when it's like, just slap Assassin's Creed on them as the name. I'm probably going on a bit of a tangent here, but this series has been around for a while. I played the first game when it came out, and I've played the games up to the point of Syndicate. And just seeing how things have gone so far, it's changed. It's not the same game anymore. If anything, they're not even making Assassin's Creed games. They're just making RPG open worlds like Far Cry and just slapping Assassin's Creed on it. And it's just disappointing, I suppose. And this was the first sign that things were changing and not going for the right, in a good way. I'll just sign off here. If there's something else happens, then I'll come back in. But thank you for watching this series. We're not quite done yet. We're still going to try and get the rest of the Homesteaders because they add more to the story and they have a story. So I want to get through that. Once that's done, we're not going to do any of the other side stuff because I can't be arsed. I just wanted this going to be done. I'll do the other side mission that is with the story with George Washington, which is the one that I didn't want to do. And then we'll do the DLC. But for now, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this series as much as you could anyway. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check the description for Patreon donations. But until next time guys, have a good one, and I'll see you then. Bye.